This person wanted exactly this, and found it. But instead of fully embracing it, they froze, not because of a lack of desire, but because the intensity is scary. This person has thrown themselves into love before, and it ended badly. They learn to be suspicious, to run away when they feel too much. Now faced with something real, everything comes flooding back. The fear of losing control, the fear of trusting again and not being enough, the fear of someone seeing everything they try to hide. This person feels, but doesn't know what to do with those feelings. They pretend not to care, change the subject, protect themselves in silence. It's not a game, it's a defense. Because this time, if they fall, they don't know if they can get back up again. What do they need? Space, time, but above all, reassurance. Someone who won't give up when they hesitate. They don't want promises. They want consistency. They want to feel that if they stumble, someone will be there, quiet, present, whole. This person doesn't want words. They want signs. They want security. They want someone who understands without them needing to explain everything. This person wanted to find someone like that. Someone who doesn't pressure, who doesn't suffocate, who simply arrives with presence, arrives with care, arrives with truth. And precisely that is what unsettled them, because they're not used to someone who doesn't pretend, to someone who doesn't try to invade their space, to someone who offers affection without hidden demands. It's strange at first. It's uncomfortable. This person has learned that too good to be true often comes with a high price later. And even though something inside them wants to trust, another part says, be careful. Last time seemed safe too, so they freeze. They laugh, chat, engage, but don't truly give themselves over. They're there, but only to the extent they feel they can control, only up to the point where they still feel they can run away. And they do run away, sometimes subtly with small distances, an ignored message, a sudden silence, a shifting gaze. Sometimes she leaves for good, but she leaves a mark, because she doesn't want to go, but she also doesn't know how to stay. This person isn't cold, she isn't confused, she is hurt, and she doesn't want to repeat the past. Yet, at the same time, she feels like it could be different now. She sees, she realizes, she knows that this kind of connection doesn't happen every day. But still, there's an internal block that doesn't budge with affection. It only gives way to real trust. This person isn't going to say it all out loud, but she is screaming inside. She will never ask directly. She won't say, stay, even when I push you away. She doesn't know if she can. She learned to stay silent to avoid seeming weak. She learned to pretend she doesn't care to avoid scaring anyone. So you will see this strong person. Independent, self-sufficient. But behind that, there's fear. Fear of not being understood. Fear of being rejected the moment she lets her guard down. She has been invalidated before. She's been told she was overreacting. She's had people make her doubt her own intuition. She's been led to believe that loving too much was a problem. That's why she hesitates even in the face of what is real. She looks and wants, but she doesn't know how to express it without losing the little control she still has. This person feels ashamed of appearing vulnerable, but inside she carries an overwhelming desire to be seen, heard, accepted, just as she is. And she doesn't need pretty words. She needs firm gestures. She needs you to understand that sometimes she will say, I don't know, when what she feels is fear, that she will pull away, just to test if you will come after her. But not everything is a game. Most of the time it's just a desperate plea for protection, because this person has given too much of herself before, and there's almost nothing left. Is this person testing all the time? No, she's trying to survive. Some may say it's drama, that it's insecurity, that it's confusion, but it's not. It's trauma, it's accumulation, it's unresolved history, it's the weight of everything she had to endure alone. This person grew up having to deal with emotions that no one wanted to hear. She learned to take care of others, but was never cared for. She always had to be strong because no one showed up to support her when she fell apart. Now, the simple act of someone saying I'm here feels like a lie. It feels too good to be true. It feels like a trap, and she sabotages herself. Not because she wants to lose, but because she doesn't know what to do when the chance to be truly happy comes around. This is the point where many give up on her. They give up because they think it's too difficult, because they can't handle the silence, the withdrawal, the intensity that she tries to hide. But those who understand her stay, quietly, without demanding explanations. They stay when she doesn't have the strength to ask. They stay even when she says, "I don't know if I want to." Because behind that, "I don't know," what she feels is, "I'm afraid to want and then lose." This person can love, but only when she stops fighting alone. She doesn't want promises. She doesn't need grand declarations or impossible fantasies. This person wants someone who knows how to stay even when she doesn't know how to stay within herself. Someone who understands that her silence isn't indifference, it's protection. Someone who won't give up at the first sign of insecurity. She wants peace, but she's used to chaos. So when she finds real calm, it feels strange. She becomes suspicious. She questions. And she almost loses, because she hasn't learned that love doesn't have to come with suffering. She doesn't know how to receive what she's never had, and she's going to need time to believe that, this time, it's real. This person has days when she almost gives in, almost makes a call, almost says what she feels, almost allows herself to be vulnerable. But she stops at almost, because she's afraid of seeming too fragile, too intense, too available. She was conditioned to believe that feeling too much pushes people away, that the more she gives, the more vulnerable she becomes, and the more vulnerable she is, the easier it is to be discarded. So she hesitates. She prefers not to say anything. She pretends everything is fine. She accepts little when what she really needs is to be seen as a whole. This person has already tried to conform. She has hidden herself in lighter, calmer, easier to love versions. But in the end, she is always left with everything she feels, with everything she holds back, with everything she can't say out loud. She doesn't want to be just another person who loses control. She wants security. She wants clarity. She wants stability. Yet at the same time, she doesn't know how to handle those who truly offer it, because when stability arrives, she doesn't recognize it. When someone says, "I'll stay," she hears, "For how long?" This person has worn herself out, trying to prove she deserves to be chosen. She knows what it's like to give her all and still be treated as an option. She knows what it's like to build castles with someone who just wanted to pass the time. She knows what it's like to wait for messages that never came. She knows what it's like to smile with a lump in her throat, pretending she doesn't care. That's why today she doesn't rush. She observes. She tests the timing. She feels what no one says. She analyzes gestures, silences, the details, because those who have been broken too many times learn to anticipate the fall. She won't let herself be easily deceived. She won't romanticize the bare minimum, and maybe she even seems distant, but she's trying to protect the part that hurt the most in the past. This person doesn't want someone who promises the world. She wants someone who will remain present even on the tough days, even when she stumbles, when she closes off, when she falls apart without knowing how to explain. She wants someone who understands that she has never been easy. But she has also never asked for too much, just honesty. This person is tired of games. But she still doesn't believe it can be simple. She wants sincere messages, touches that don't lie, looks that don't shy away. But she is afraid. Because simple can also hurt. Because even those who seemed sincere have lied while looking into her eyes. So this person becomes alarmed even by affection. She deconstructs herself from the inside out. She relives past scenes. She imagines the end before even allowing the beginning. That's why she doesn't give herself easily. She needs to believe that this time she won't fall apart. And that doesn't come with words. It comes with consistency, with small acts that don't fade away, with gestures that don't change from one week to the next, with someone who, even without promises, is there, always there. This person won't provide you with guarantees, and she won't make your path easier, because she's not here to be easy. She's here to be whole, and anyone who wants to stay must be patient with the silences, with the days when she crumbles without explanation, with the wounds that still ache even after so much time. This person doesn't want anyone perfect. She wants someone who understands that she isn't either, that she still carries the remnants of past relationships, that sometimes she won't know what to do with the affection she receives, that she will pull away out of fear, not disinterest. And above all, she needs to feel that she can exist without needing to shrink to fit others' expectations. She will only open up fully when she feels safe, and safety isn't saying "I love you." It's not disappearing when things get tough. It's knowing how to listen when she can't explain. It's respecting the time she needs without using it as a threat. This person is ready to live something real. But for her, the real is scarier than the superficial. Because in the shallow, she already knows how to move. In the deep, everything is new, and new sometimes hurts. This person doesn't need anyone else. She's learned to survive on her own, to manage her feelings, to endure what she lives through, to cope with what others have left behind. But the fact that she doesn't need doesn't mean she doesn't want. She wants. She wants to feel that she can let go of the weight, that she can lower her shield without being hurt, that she can be cared for without having to ask. But wanting also frightens her, because in the past, everything she wanted too much left, and the more she invested, the more she lost. The more she revealed, the more it was used against her. The more she believed, the more she deceived herself. So now, even when everything around seems right, she hesitates, not out of ego, not as a game, but because she is still relearning to trust her own intuition. This person blames herself for not knowing how to express everything she feels, for pushing away those who want to get close, for not being able to be as light as expected. But she wasn't made for superficiality, and that is exhausting, because she gives herself completely, so not at all. She doesn't know how to be half, and every time she tried to divide herself, she lost a little more. This person carries a lot. She's never shared with anyone. She has lived through profound silences, moments when she cried quietly, just not to bother anyone. Days when she smiled on autopilot, even when everything inside was shattered. She got used to being the safe haven for everyone, except herself. And because of that, today, she finds it hard to accept support, to allow someone to hold her when everything inside is shaking. This person knows how to be strong, but she is tired of having to be strong all the time. Only she won't say that. She won't ask for comfort nor attention. She will keep trying to seem at peace even when she's not. She learned to disguise, to camouflage the pain with independence, to appear distant when in fact she just needs care. That's why from the outside many times people are misled. They think she's cold, that she doesn't feel, that she doesn't want anything. But they don't see the chaos that exists in someone who feels too much and tries to keep it all under control. This person is waiting for someone to see what she doesn't know how to say, because words have always been traps for her. She believed in so many that now she only reacts to gestures. This person will observe, she will test your consistency. She will wait to see if you disappear on the days when she isn't feeling well, and she won't warn you. She won't drop hints, she won't call out. She will just silence and pay attention. Those who are attentive will notice. Those who truly want to stay will. And no, she doesn't want to test the other person. She wants to protect the little bit of faith she still has in real connections. She doesn't want much. She wants just enough. She wants the truth, even if it hurts. She wants someone who expresses their feelings, even when it's hard. And more than that, she wants someone who shows it, on the good days, on the bad days, and especially on the neutral days. Because this person is tired of those who only show up when they feel a void. She wants someone who stays, even when nothing is missing. This person will need you to endure the process, because she won't give in easily. She won't accept love with her eyes closed. She won't believe the first pretty words. She will resist. She will doubt. She will self-sabotage at times. But if you know how to stay, if you can navigate the silence, the fear, the walls, if you understand that she's not trying to push you away, just protect herself, then she will yield. Gradually, in her own time, she will make space. She will begin to trust. She will show you a side that almost no one has seen, and when that happens, it will be real. It will be whole. It will be genuine. This person doesn't want you to change the world for her. She just wants you to stay when the world inside her changes. She doesn't want control. She doesn't want to force you to stay or make you prove anything. She just wants to feel she can trust. that she can shed her armor, that she can show her mess without being judged. This person has seen too many promises turn into absence. She's seen too much love transform into indifference. She has given herself to the point of forgetting who she was. Now she's trying to relearn, to feel with lightness, to like with patience, to open up, without the fear of losing her footing. And for that she needs someone who doesn't confuse distance with disinterest, someone who can recognize the signals she gives, even when everything seems silent, because this person, she feels, and she feels deeply. She just hasn't learned yet how to deal with someone who also feels for her. This person feels, even if she doesn't say it, even if she runs away, even if she distances herself. She feels her, and that's enough to know that there's still something inside. It's not about pressuring or forcing. It's about understanding. Some people can only love when they feel they won't be punished for it. If you've made it this far, it's because you might know someone like that, or maybe you are that person. And if you are, take a breath. You're not wrong for feeling too much. You're not broken. You're just tired of being hurt for loving at the right intensity, for someone who only knew how to receive halfway. Now, share this with someone who needs to read it. Someone who might be about to give up on someone who just needs time, or someone who still hasn't understood what's going on inside them. Leave your comment down below. Have you ever experienced something like this? Have you tried to protect yourself so much that you almost lost what was real? And if this content resonated with you, give it a like, not as a favor, but because it shows that this kind of conversation still matters. And if you want to receive more content like this, subscribe to the channel. We're going to talk about a lot of wounds that no one has the courage to expose, because feeling too much isn't a weakness, it's survival.